Okay, this is Joe for Joe's Plumbing, Drain, and Sewer. I'm at 4242 Lindell, doing a video inspection of the sanitary line for the purposes of a building sale. I was able to get all the way back. As you can see, I'm all the way to where the pipe comes out of the building, where the 4 meets the 6-inch. That's the transition. That's as far as I'll be able to go back in. Now, what was different than the last time I did it, since he's cleaned it, I didn't really see the big belly looking spots, so it may have been a bunch of goo that was just closing up behind the camera before and not letting the water drain. I'll look closer when we pull it back out. I was just trying to get as much momentum as I could get with the camera to get all the way back in this large line. It's hard to keep your camera from doubling up, especially when you get out to 100 feet or more like we are here. So I'm going to start pulling the camera out. We'll look at the condition from the building out to here. As I stated before, I think the belly may not have been a belly, but may just be a lot of goo, and I'm guessing it kind of spread out. So we'll look at it on the way and just see what we find. Okay. Prop this up a little bit. Okay, and there you see that's the 4-inch coming out of the building. It comes into 6 and then 8. A little bit of an offset, but nothing to speak of. That green string you see is my guide string I use to go in towards the building with. It'll pull out the whole way with me. And every 2 feet you'll see this where it's like a joint, and that's how these clay tile are put together. So far it's looking really nice and clean. We're not holding water like we were before. Of course, this is the one little bump I hit. I had trouble getting past that with the camera. That's just a little buildup, or might even have been a little bit of a leftover root or something, but it's not a big deal. See, now we're getting, you can see it'll look like it's on the top, but it's really the bottom. We're pulling through like a little 2 lines of like dirt. The camera's flipped over, so it's kind of hard to show you, but see that sludge there on the bottom? That was probably in one big mass before, causing the water to hold line. Almost looks like it was jetted. I see the 2 like jetter lines that hold there. Here's where we come through another transition and we bump up to the larger pipe. Oh, I may have spoke too soon. I'm underwater, but it's not holding as high as it did before. Guess I went through this so fast on the way in, I didn't notice it. Alright, and we're coming back out of it a little now. Push back in. Very little water on the bottom here. We get past that transition. Now we're starting to come into the deeper stuff. So, 76.5, we're totally underwater. There's a tie-in for something from a... And now we're pretty much out of it, and you see the goo all on the bottom, all that grit and muck. It's actually at the top of your screen. But that's the stuff that you got it spread out a little bit, so it seems to help a bit when it was cabled, but not all the way. Just depends on how clean you want to get it where you start. Yeah. It's like from that belly, you can see it's like got gravel, mud, and muck coming all the way back. I think the cable spread a lot of it out, but didn't pull it through. Yeah, see, it's still. See all of that there. That's just hard to get with a cable. It's probably about 1.5 inches deep, but it's an 8-inch line, so there's still lots of room for flow. Yeah, see, I wonder where all that gravel comes from. That's all gravel. Gravel and muck and mud. Should be getting back almost to the trap here. Yeah, we're holding water about, I guess, 2 inches off the bottom, and that's full of that gravel and muck. Should be getting to the trap back here where I started in just about 2 or 3 feet. Yep, underwater. Pulling a lot here at the mouth. Now we're up and out. All right. Okay, I'm going to pause it right now, turn the camera around, and see if I can get through this vent trap and out to the main. Hopefully you got more of the gravel and stuff out of this trap and I can get through it. Okay, it took quite a while, but I was finally able to get through that trap and out to the main. I got the camera right now. We're at the Y to the main in the alley, right where it drops into the line. Unfortunately, it was holding water most of the way. I was pushing something that looked like a rag on the end of my camera. I don't know what it was, but I finally pushed it through. So we'll get our look at it on the way back. So I'll see it when you see it. But I was able to get all the way through, so we know it's not collapsed or anything like that. And you see the water, I ran some water inside and it's running through. But I've turned it off now, and I'm going to pull back out and see if we get a better view of what's going on. Like I said, the first part that we did on the way back in, it looks like the cable spread the gravel and rock and mud out over a longer space, so it's not a belly, but it's got about 2 inches of mud and gravel, inch and a half, something like that, mud and gravel all along the bottom, all the way out instead of just all full in one spot. But it is an 8-inch line, so it's got plenty of room left. I would still clean it thoroughly if it was mine, but I'll leave that up to you. Anyway, I'm going to start pulling back. And you see there's the Y that leads to the MSD's main. Back underwater. Shake it around a little bit. I go back and forth, I kind of smooth it out, and then you can see again. All right, pull back a little more. More. Even when I move it around, I can't see here. We're totally underwater. But when I pull it fast, it kind of moves the stuff and you get a look for a second. And you can see the pipes. Looks okay at the top there. Just holding right over the top of the camera head, and that camera head's about 3.5 inches high. Trying to get the stuff to break loose going back and forth, but can only give you glimpses here because it's holding over the camera head. And when I pull back, I get a look, and push back and forth, I get a look. I'm sorry I can't give you a better picture. It's just holding water the whole damn way. Got it out again. We know we're all the way through. We know we're not broken. But it's still got a lot of goo in the line. Get it to move. Getting almost back to the trap here. I hate to pull out of it because it's so hard to get through, but we've seen everything we're going to see this way. I'm jabbing it back and forth the whole way trying to get it to go free, but this isn't a cable or a jetter, it's a camera. Now, if I pull back any further, I'm going to come through the trap. But That's what I'm gonna have to do. See, it's still holding almost halfway up the pipe there. Now we're gonna go through, up and out. All right, that'll conclude this portion of the inspection. I'm gonna stop and burn the DVD. Then I'm gonna talk to Steve and see what he wants to do.